Minor detail.
It's real nice to look out and see all those bums in the pews. Out of all the things that you could do, we're glad this is what you choose. We've got some tasty acts for you. We hope they will amuse. As variety is the spice of life, as we walk along life's narrow edge of the knife. On this lovely April night, let's share in a variety of delights. And now to meet your anti-Grinch, your host for the evening, Joanna Finch. At the village's Fireside Variety Show.
moments.
Oh, yeah. But first, playing the part of the weird reverend with her weird musical sidekick, it's Reverend Ingrid Brown and her musical sidekick, Gregor Schulberg.
Welcome. Thank you. Hello. We don't need the mic.
Well, maybe you guys don't. My voice doesn't carry so well.
Okay. I don't need the mic. I'm going to speak from my diaphragm. That's right. We grew up in churches. We got that in common. What else do we have in common? So Ingrid, this is Ingrid, and let me introduce you. She is the reverend of this beautiful church, and you have been doing some amazing things since you came to Cumberland. How long have you been in? I've been in the valley for July will be 7 years. So I'm still a new person here. Especially in Cumberland, right? I have 27 years until I am fully a resident, right? I think that's about right. 40. I grew up on Bowen Island, and you weren't a Bowen Islander unless you'd been there since you were 5 months old and for the next 30 years. And so that's kind of just the way it is. Here. So I'm going to ask you, why is this church called the Weird Church now? This is Weird Church because it's like church, but it's weird. And I am an ordained minister in the United Church, but I'm kind of a weird minister. First of all, I'm under 40. And actually, I'm also under 60, which makes me even more unusual. Also, I'm female. Also, well, in the United Church, lots of ministers have tattoos, but I also like to speak my mind and push back against authority, and I like to do things that make sure everybody knows that they are welcome in especially this place. And so we are so excited that this has not been turned into a brewery, that it has not been turned into a hotel, that it has not been turned into condos, that it has not been turned into 100 other things, and that you can come in here. There is a donation basket by the door that goes to the Cumberland Culture and Arts Society, but you can also just come in here and exist for free without buying things. Yay! And you can look at the art, and you can listen to the music, and you can come and see Joanna, and you can do all these fun things without having to belong to a church. Without having to belong to a church, yeah. So that's what makes it kind of weird, because it's incredibly inclusive. And can you just tell us a little bit about some of the programs that you have been running since, just a few of them, maybe? There's been a lot. Sure. One of the things that I love that we do every month is called Weird Church in the Woods. And we use the headsets from Cumberland Village Works that usually we do silent disco in the village, but we do them for prayer and meditation in the woods. And so we go into the woods and we have time to listen to whatever your concept of a power greater than yourself is trying to communicate to you. So maybe it's the forest, maybe you call that thing God, maybe you say the power of love that runs in and through all things. However you want to understand that power, you open yourself up, guided meditation, listening. I like that one a lot. And we also have all sorts of fun partnerships, like with the Cumberland Culture and Arts Society, to make this space affordable and accessible for artists. We also have the Cumberland Food Share. We have the gallery at Weird Church. There's the Adventure Daycare downstairs. So if you have to go to the washroom, hot tip, you have to go over here and down the stairs and through the daycare. There's lots of other things happening.
Don't play with the toys while you're down.
It's okay, you can play with the toys. There's also toys at the back of the church if you feel like playing. And there's coloring, and there's fidget toys, and there's Truth and Reconciliation Lending Library. Ooh, there's another thing that's coming up. Starting in May, we have a 94 Calls to Action education series starting here. So we will be inviting speakers to come in and talk about things that you need to know about the 94 Calls to Action and where we're at and what we're not doing. The 94 Calls to Action about what? From the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. Yeah, thank you. You're welcome. So there's a lot of things going on here, and what makes it also really diverse and interesting is that anybody from the community can say, hey, can I do something here? And that also makes it really inclusive. So then we now have a public place in Cumberland that is a spiritual house, but it's also a house of just community, just for whoever, for whatever. And that's what I commend you for. And recently we got some great news that you are now fully 100% connected to Cumberland.
Yes, I've been working 2 jobs for the last 4 years, and I've just let go of my other one. I will be finishing my contract in June, so I will be fully here, able to say yes to all the fun things you want to do in here. So come and talk to me about them, and let's do fun things.
Excellent. Yay. So I just think I haven't mentioned this properly. Some of you, probably most of you, don't even know what this show is about. It's been on Zoom all winter. We started this as part of the Cumberland Cultural and Art Society, a way of actually raising money for membership. And I was hosting these different shows all through the winter on Zoom because we couldn't do it live. And so this is the first time we're doing it live in the public, live in the flesh, or on the screen. We also are doing it on the screen tonight as well, so people at home are watching the show as well. But this is going to continue in the winter next year as well, and there'll be different people from, all over the valley, different people that you might not normally meet. People mostly from Cumberland, with stories and hidden talents. So, speaking of hidden talents, this show is a little bit about talking, finding out about people, and then being entertained. So, Ingrid, do you have any hidden talents that you would like to share with us? Or
That's a loaded question, Joanna. One thing that people don't know about me maybe is that I used to be an actor. I studied in New York. I did film and theater in Vancouver and New York. And I am fully trained and qualified in stage combat. And so hand-to-hand, single rapier, rapier dagger, double rapier, and broadsword.
Wow.
Spoiled again.
Foiled again. That's Gregor's not so secret talent. He's always got a pun on him.
Very funny. He sends these jokes to me all the time on Facebook, and I don't even know this guy. So, and you also play clarinet.
Yep, I like to play the clarinet, and I'm learning the ukulele, and I'm not very good at the guitar, but I'm trying. So, there you go.
Ingrid, let's give Ingrid a big round. You're not really her sidekick, but you're part of this this entourage of what's been happening at the church. Can you tell us a little bit about what your part is in the Weird Church record?
So there's myself, there's a young lady named Jenna. Can you all hear me?
Yeah.
I don't project as well as they do, but anyway, there's a young lady named Jenna Sport, and we are the musical folks every week. 4 o'clock on Sundays here, Ingrid has the Weird Church services. And one of the things that both Jenna and I really enjoy doing is bringing music that you would not typically think of as church music into the church services because it's out of our own experiences. We go, right, that'll fit this particular talk, and sometimes Ingrid goes, yes, I love that song, and other times she goes, I've never heard of that song, but let's give it a go, because she's very flexible about it. And so I'm learning some songs from Jenna, who is 27, and she's learning some songs from me, because I'm not 27. So a couple of the songs that I'll be doing tonight, for example, we've used them, or will be using them in church, and I'll guarantee you would not normally expect to hear them in church, but you'll hear them soon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Great. And I wanted to ask one more thing before we let Ingrid leave the stage, because you're going to sing and entertain us. You're going to start the entertainment off, but I think it's quite entertaining the way you do blessings. So would you please give us a blessing before we start?
Sure.
Bring us into this evening with one of your beautiful.
Before we do that, I do want to just, anytime we do anything with Weird Church, this is definitely a Cumberland Culture and Art Society show. But anytime we do anything at Weird Church, we always take a minute to recognize that we are on the unceded, the stolen territory of the Comox Nation, the Kwakwa and North Coast Salish-speaking people. We do that whenever we do anything Weird Church because we want to make clear to the ancestors and to those living today that we're here to be a decolonizing and reconciling church, that the church has a lot to atone for, and we're here to actually take some action. And so we say, Gila Casla, thank you to the ancestors every time we gather, and I invite you to just offer a word of thanks. If you consider the underneath your feet are floorboards, and then a daycare, and then a whole lot of rock and dirt, and just offer your thanks to the land and all who have walked on it since time immemorial for this one moment. Ah, they heard. Fantastic. So, one of the things that I believe deep in my guts is that every single person, no matter who you are, no matter where you have been, no matter what you have done, no matter where you're going, no matter your gender identity, your sexual orientation, your race, your religion, your background, any of these factors, I believe that you are precious and beloved. And so, if there's one thing you leave here remembering about Weird Church, I hope it is that you know that there's a whole lot of love coming your way from me. There's a whole lot of love surrounding you in this place, and no matter where you go, you are touched and held in love. And so if you don't believe it, but you need to hook onto my absolute convinced self about that, you just hook on and you borrow my faith in that for a little while until you truly believe how beloved you are. Amen.
So, as I'm grabbing my guitar and stuff here, I moved here. It's about 3 years ago that my wife and I bought a spot. The townhouse is just off Kendall, the Stoney Station, so we got one of those. And we made the decision, well, we're gonna do this? Yep, let's do it. So then we went over to the Gold Cafe there, had ourselves a bowl, and said, we're gonna do this? Yeah, we like this place. We walked up and down, saw the brewery, we like this place. Saw the pizza place, we like this place. Yeah, we're gonna do it. So we put our offer down and we moved in the fall of 2019. Perfect. all the activities had started. So come January of 2000 and is that right? Yeah, 2020. We started up with one of the choirs in town and getting going, and then everything shut down in a couple of weeks. So it's been 2 years of what everybody else has been going through. But this place got going. I met Ingrid and started doing some music here. So we've been doing the Weird services, the Weird Church services on Zoom. But we also started what we call the Weird Cafe. So we've been having a monthly concert series of music as well. So it's been a good start here, but I really feel that it's just getting going now. Like, does everybody else feel that way? We're just starting to live again. So I've got two tunes, and one, as you can see here, I've got a little bit about the horrible stuff that's going on in the world right now over in the Ukraine, and this is a song that comes out of quite a few decades ago. A lot of the younger folks here, the kids, will not remember some of the previous wars, but some of you folks will. And this was one of many protest songs about war. And this is not exactly a gentle song. It's pretty strong, but it really gives you a feeling for how vehemently the fellow that wrote it was against the horrible thing that we call war. This is called The Eve of Destruction. The Eastern world, it is exploding, violence flaring, bullets loading, old enough to kill, not provoking, Don't believe in war, but what's that gun you're toting? And even the Jordan River's got bodies floating. And you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Don't you understand what I'm trying to say? Can't you feel the fear that I'm feeling today? The buttons pushed, we can't run away. There'll be no one to save with the world all in a grave. Take a look around you, boy. There's no one there to save you. And you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. My blood's so mad it feels like coagulating. I'm sitting here just contemplating. You can't trust the truth if it knows no regulation. A handful of senators will pass legislation. Marches along can't bring integration when human respect is in disintegration. And you tell me over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Those were original lyrics. I modified this last verse just a little bit. Think of all the death that we're seeing in the Ukraine, all because of that evil man, Vladimir Putin. If he takes the Donbass, it won't be the last. He'll go to the Baltic. Don't it make you sick? Hate your next door neighbor, but don't forget to say your grace. And tell me over and over and over and over again, my friend, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. Oh, you don't believe we're on the eve of destruction. I actually don't like singing that, but I kind of think it's important. So there's a real tradition for folks who are quite a bit younger. There's if you've ever heard names like Bob Dylan and Joan Baez and people like that, look them up on YouTube. They're around, and they sang a lot of anti-war songs, a lot of songs about this just is wrong. So it's good stuff. So we'll lighten it up a little bit now. Now, you wouldn't expect, shall we charitably say, a middle-aged guy to do a Jessie J song, but that's what I'm going to do. Seems like everybody's got a price. Wonder how they sleep at night. When the sale comes up and the truth comes second, stop for a minute and smile. Why is everybody so serious, acting so damn mysterious? And your heels so high that you can't even have a good time. Everybody look to your left, everybody look to the right. Can you feel that? We'll pay them with love tonight. It's not about the money, money, money. We don't need your money, money, money. We just want to make the world dance. It ain't about the price tag. It ain't about the cha-ching, cha-ching. Ain't about the bubbling, bubbling. Want to make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. It's not about the money, money, money. We don't need the money, money, money. We just want to make the world dance. apart as far as songs go. But that's the kind of stuff we do in the church. Music.
Thank you.
And everything in between. So maybe we'll see you out sometime. I'm done.
Thanks.
Thanks, Gregor.
Well, thank you, Gregor and Ingrid. And now it's time to meet our next guest. Are you ready to bring up your next guest?
I am.
All right, from episode 1, The Luxury of Belonging, please give a warm welcome to multidisciplinary artist and the artist who made all those bum pictures that you're sitting on up there too, by the way. Ladies and gentlemen, the multidisciplinary performer, Kathy Coates.
We had our first show, where was I guess it was in November, not in December, December, and there were 4 people in the show, and Kathy's the only one who was able to come back for this one, grand finale, so give her The reason why we had that be the subject, comfort of belonging, because we were talking about how we were in our homes a lot, and what was making us comfortable and what was making us uncomfortable. And so I got these questions together, and we talked about, this was the theme of that particular show. Actually, it's called The Luxury of Belonging. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. How do you find a sense of belonging through the various forms of art?
Oh, gosh. Put on the spot right there.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
It's your, just like in the show. Well, you know, a sense of belonging. How do you feel like to your
With my
first
art. Well, I'm in my room right now because I'm talking about, I'm gonna do a little skit about the day in the life as a model, like a figure model at the college. That's one of my other sides. So, what is the question?
Yes, sense of belonging through your
Well, at this point now, because I've been making cards, I've been making some of the art you've seen was made in, I think, 1997, a while ago, and till recently, and comfort coming from that, I would say, like, recognition from people that have known it for so long. You know, it's like, oh yeah, that's what you do. Like, yes, this is what I do. So,
Yes, a sense of belonging, sense of,
it's just who I am.
yeah, who you are.
Yeah.
Right, so that is a big, rounded, sense of belonging. I have one more question for you. Do you feel expressing yourself through dance and modeling contributes to your well-being? How does it do that?
Okay.
Because you dance, I mean, she's an amazing dancer. And, I mean, everything she does, she sings beautifully too. So, just,
How do I?
so how do you feel expressing yourself through dance and modeling contributes to your well-being?
I believe that the divine is channeled through any creative form. That's what I believe. And this skit is kind of talking about that experience as well. It definitely beats the blues. If I'm sad, I just gotta you just dance and this music sings. Draw, freak out on the paper, whatever. So, yeah, so it helps. It's very cathartic. It helps things move. Keeps the emotions in motion. Yeah.
Thank you. I think a lot of people here can probably relate to that, right? I'm going to leave it to you to entertain us with your hullabaloo.
Okay.
I'm trying to do it, Kevin.
Okay, so we're setting the stage. The art room. It's quiet. There's a murmuring of students. Teacher, fussing over paper, finding the implement of choice. I am given the signal. Begin. mood. I am free. I am stillness. I am breath. I am heartbeat. I am visited by thoughts. So many thoughts. Some leaving me laughing out loud. Some leave me shuddering, breathing away tears and sorrow. Seriously. I have to save them for another time. And I can. Focus in, and I breathe. I am so exposed. I feel my mind swirling around. I'm so contorted in my head and my brain and my thoughts. But I'm still. I'm peaceful. The room is peaceful. I am breath. I am love. My mind continues to go into the chaos, and I feel the students' restlessness. I feel their struggles. I feel everything. I breathe. I send them love. My realizing how my presence and mental state directly and subtly influences the artists helps me reset. And I send that light to the students, the artists, and they return into flow. Can we pause just for a second? I'm pausing. Sorry, everyone. This is a very important part of the Okay, time in. Realizing I am each artist. Essentially, I am each and every one of them. I am the artist.
And thank you, Kathy Coates.
This
This is you.
1990.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, next, ladies and gentlemen, from our next episode of Cumberland Villagers Fireside Variety Show, we're going to have 3 guests coming up from the episode we called Cosmic Love Embodied. Are you ready to meet them? All right. So welcome to the stage, 3 guests, Senue, Paula Bowman, and Caress Nadeau. Our 3 guests. Come on up.
Joanna, can you scooch in? You're out of the light.
There's chairs and benches if you.
No, that looks good. So Cosmic Love Embodied, we have 3 stars here. That's how the Cosmic Love Embodied came about. These 3 women are all quite exceptional in their own way, and I was lucky enough to more invite them to come and be on the show, and they all came. We had a really fun show when they came. Theirs was the 2nd show in the series, and so I'm going to bring you all together. Whoops. So, so I say we have a little chat, first of all, and then each one of them is going to perform, and then you're the last in this set before we have our break for a little intermission. At which time, there are things to look at in the back table, maybe things to buy. All the artists have brought things that they have created, and you can look at that afterwards. So, I'll begin with you, Senue. How does love embodiment influence your approach to your art? Do you believe in cosmic connection, divine inspiration, help from beyond? How does this show up in your work and in your art? Talk a little bit about this embodiment idea.
So maybe I can ask everyone if they would be willing to take a breath with me, a few breaths. This is part of my answer. Let's take a deep breath in. One more deep breath. Do you feel the support of the air as you breathe it in? Do you feel your feet connected to the earth beneath your feet? Do you feel yourself present in the right moment with us? Love is a major part of my work. Self-love, helping others to find their connection to themselves as well. Knowing that it's okay if we struggle. Knowing that we can find ourselves again. Knowing that we can heal. Knowing that it's all okay. Beautiful answer. And aside from that, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you do, and your work? Because I think part of this show is about people finding you afterwards and going, whoa, she does some really cool stuff. I really want to connect with you. And how do I find you? Where do you work? What do you do? Let's hear about that now. Yeah, so I work as an expressive arts therapist. It's embodied work, movement, art, writing, and music. And I also work with anti-oppression and ancestry and identity workshops, healing workshops that help people through grief. So group workshops as well as working with clients individually. And I have dreams of touring BC and performing in some of my work around identity, ancestry, and diversity and inclusivity. I have dreams of recording an album that speaks to this, to racism, to love, to resiliency. And that is a little bit about what I'm looking at. Thank you. So I'm going to next ask the same question of Paula. How does love embodiment influence your approach to your art? Do you believe in cosmic connections, divine inspiration, help from beyond? How does it show up in your work and in your art? I'm really prolific, and since being young, that prolificness has sort of taken turns, and so finding space to make and create and be me takes a lot of effort while being a good parent. So I take it when I get it, and I'm certain that there is help because once I get going, I can't stop. So I have all this creativity stuck in me, and I have to find a way to get it out. So that takes love and understanding, and it also is about me honoring who I truly am.
Linda, mute yourself.
Yes. Thank you. And tell us what kind of work you do, a little bit about your background and your work.
Yeah, so I have spent a good chunk of my life being a community artist where I work with people in all different venues, pulling out their creativity, having parades and odd storytelling and fun, generally outside. In this lifetime, being back in Canada, I've been training to be a sexual health educator. So now I talk to people about their bodies and their stuff. And that comes through in my art. And I have a huge repertoire. I love ancient history, and I try to mix that in with magic and lessons and sex and fun.
You have an amazing podcast.
Oh, that too.
Tell us about your podcast.
Okay, it's called Sexuality, and it comes out every other week. And there's a huge range of topics. And at this point, it's been a year. Next week is so 52. And so excitement. And with the pandemic, not being able to teach in person, doing a podcast was how I could get all that stuff out of here.
And it's called Planet Paula, and you can find it on Facebook and also on the website.
Paula.ca, and the actual podcast is called Sexuality. So if you think about sitting down for a cup of tea, they're short and sweet and full of lots of good information.
And now we have Keres Nadeau. So you have a very interesting background, a lot of things that you do. I'm going to ask you the same question. How does love embodiment influence your approach to your art? Do you believe in cosmic connections, divine inspiration, help from beyond? How does this show up in your work and in your art?
That's a good question, sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, it does, and so, what about that glow, like you've got that purposeful thing going on, you might be drawn to go to the bar, to be doing something, but there's something that's compelling you with your art, what compels you, why, what are you getting at?
It's just happening.
Getting yourself, like what kind of things have you done, what kind of things have you created that, that make you want to do more?
I think that my entire self purpose and help and audience just comes from my own that's one of my mental health. So through practice whatever that's like reach people and reconnect people and
And so what are some of, what is your art form?
I am a lot of different things. I'm a musician, I'm a dancer, acrobat, do stage design, a little bit of everything. Not like all things, sorry. But to make costumes, yeah, do the whole thing.
Great, well, thank you. So one by one, I'm going to get you to perform, and I'm wondering if you two want to sit on the stage. We all want to get a stage, or you can go back to your seat and come up and do whatever you prefer to do. But first of all, we have Senue, who's going to be up. Okay, great. So please give a warm welcome to
So, yeah, my artist name is Senue, and this is my first time performing under this name. Senue is a Chinese name. I'm half Chinese, ethnically, and it's a name that I gave myself because I didn't know that I had a name in Chinese. It took me many, many years to find that out. And Senue means mountain moon. And recently, in the past 2 weeks, when I figured out my artist name, I was with a friend named Amy, who performs and crafts as well. And Amy is a coda, which means that she was born to a deaf parent, but that she can hear. That's the definition of a coda. And Amy shared with me how to pronounce my name in sign language. And so Senue is pronounced like this. Yeah. And maybe I'll invite folks to try that with me. It's mountain moon. So it starts with your fists together to represent rock or earth. And then your right hand raises up towards the left. Mountain. And then you come back with a kind of a C shape to your eye. And then you go up to the right hand side. And what I really love about this is that it opens up your heart. And each movement lifts you towards the sky. And that's kind of where this name came from. I was traveling in China. I had just gone through a huge loss. And I was trying to figure out who I was and who I am. And it was a constant journey. Some of you may know that. And just traveling by bicycle in the mountains in southwest China,
going into the mountains in Nepal, traveling by moonlight. So I'm really in love with this name, and this is the first time that it's been presented to a group of people. It's very special that you all are here. It means a lot to me. Maybe we can do it one more time. And I'll show you, this is the Chinese characters. I'll put it at the back for intermission in case anyone's curious. So the first song I'm going to sing is going to be in Mandarin. It's called "The Moon Represents My Heart." 月亮代表我的心. And I'll invite you to just imagine being under the moon. Let yourself sink into this song. "你问我爱你有多深，我爱你有几分？我的情也真，我的爱也深，月亮代表我的心。清醒的一个人，就能打动我的心。深深的一段情，叫我思念到如今。你问我爱你有多深，我爱你有几分？我的情也真，我的爱也深，月亮代表我的心。You ask how deeply I love you, just how great my love really is. Consider this, my love, and while you do, look above. The moon represents my heart. This next song is a part of a play that I've been working on. It's a movement piece as well, it involves music. And it's written about that time period that I was really searching for myself and the time period that my name is based off of. And traveling in China, being young, trying to figure things out. The song is called Red Earth. It was during this time that I fell in love with China's red earth. A daydreaming youth with loss on my mind, I took to the open road, invited by a stranger to join in a journey that I was already on. It was in this moment that I tossed my book, telling me where to go and why.
This truly was a time of deepening and of connection. Connection to the cool air as I raced down the mountains on my bike. Connection to the moon and stars as they lit their way at night. Wonder at how the world changes in the comfort of the moon. To the smell of smoke and the fiery glow of burning embers in the fields. Connection to the farmlands where I lay my head to rest. This same land my ancestors worked. Connection to the tea tree plantations and the monsoon rain that followed. Connection to the Mekong River, boulders caked in mud along their shores. It's these same shores, so quiet at night, where I saw the moon reflecting on the water. And in that moment, I knew that I wasn't alone. You see, you had left this earth in your bodily shape, but here, in this moment, I realized, as long as there is a moon to rise and water to flow, I know that I am not alone, that you, my mother, are here. So I'm gonna change paces, kind of like Gregor had done earlier, and I'm gonna play a song by Tracy Chapman. The reason I love this song is because there's such a heaviness to it and a truth to it that I appreciate, and I think sometimes we shy away from talking about things or expressing things that are difficult or painful. And I think it's important that we go in sometimes. So this song, I also wanted to share that, in choosing a name, Sanua, there's an accent on the E. And that accent represents two different languages. It's an accent aigu, and it's also an accent that represents Kenyan language. So it's a little bit difficult to spell the name or to pronounce it, but it's very meaningful. And I've had it shared with me recently that, friends have given birth to newborn children and been unable to register their child's name in their language with the Canadian government because it's too difficult to figure out the accents, or that the English language, with the government doesn't include Indigenous languages and accents. So I just wanted to invite folks to consider when you're in a position of power to create change or to respect others, to really consider, how can that be received and influenced, and how can you create a new path forward for people, So that's partially also why I wanted to share this song, just about coming from a inclusive and decolonization lens. And it's a little heavy, so I will invite you to breathe deeply. Offer yourself any support if you need it, with your hand on your chest or your feet on the earth. Lost and not unlucky, came upon a shore, found you were conquering America. You spoke of peace, but waged a war, while you were conquering America, there was land to take and people to kill. While you were conquering America, you served yourself, did God's will. While you were conquering America, the ghost of Columbus haunts this world. While you were conquering America, the meek won't survive or inherit the earth. While you're still conquering America. Oh, America, oh, America, oh, America, oh, America. You found bodies to serve and submit and degrade while you were conquering America. Made us soldiers and junkies, prisoners and slaves while you were conquering America. Oh, Canada, oh, Canada. Oh, Canada, oh, Canada. Your hands are at my throat, my back's against the wall, 'cause you're still conquering America. We're sick and tired, hungry and poor, 'cause you're still conquering America. You bomb the very grounds that feeds your own babies, 'cause you're still conquering America. Your sons and your daughters may never sing your praise, 'cause you're still conquering America. Oh, America, oh, America, oh, America, oh, America. I see your eyes seek a distant shore, 'cause you're still conquering America. Taking rockets to the moon, trying to find a new world, 'cause you're still conquering America. Oh, Canada, oh, Canada. Oh, Canada, oh, Canada. The ghost of Columbus haunts this world, 'cause we're still conquering America. Thank you so much. I appreciate the space and time.
That's how you say it, send you up. Okay, I was mispronouncing, sorry about that. And I really like what you said about language and how we use this in our culture. We just take it over, it's another form of colonization. I'm so glad you brought that point up. Thank you. Up next is Paula Bowman. Yes. She's got someplace to go in a big way. There she goes, she's back. No, that's okay. All right. So Paula, what have you got for us?
Oh, an assortment of poems. The first one is called Cave. Is this the one?
Yeah, you can speak a bit, yeah, you can project if you like.
So this was a cave that I went to in Cornwall, and it was absolutely massive, and it was the most beautiful beach, and this poem came from that experience. Your passage across, careful, careful, not to be carried, craggy edges
fine lines, veins into deepness, solitude at last. Ancient stories, journeys into passageways, following the threads of the labyrinth, tales on rock, pilgrims in a sacred spot. You reach across, touch smooth, soft stone. This being inside, great mother, swallowing you up, up, up. Dancers' feet tapping madly, droplets of water echoing large. Human feet battering, tattering, battering, tattering, echoing large. Oil slicked pools, purple rock, peacock gold, blue green stain the ceiling. She is filling fast. She is becoming full again. The awaited meal is coming in, tide pushing, must make a break for it, past the break of it. Swirling watery pools at your feet, emerging from a swallowed state. You make your way through crowded foam across the closing beach. Now, the next one, I can't really tell you the story. There's children present. Shark boy, he was the boy across the street. Shark boy, he was so sleek, with such creamy skin, likable, possibly even lickable, a tasty treat for me. Confusion red, confusion and constant clearing lift, sharp like snap of spark, heat. My seal girl soul, the he in the I and the I in the our bodies met, and it was much, much more. His body was steam, quenching my dried, honeyed soul, my dried, honeyed soul. The hunger igniting, hot frenzy, thick with damp, sticky vapors of loving motion. We two, one, skin of sweet sweat and steam, absorbed by my dried, honeyed soul, my dried, honeyed soul, touching the dark places with vigorous abounding. It did happen. Mangoes, delectable fruit, your orange iridescence, glimmering, glowing, flowing, the curvation of delicate fruit, delectable fruit, sucking you to your pit, squishing, grinding you in the palm of my hand, soft, silken, sodden, with juice dripping down my lips. Your peels lay discarded on the front room floor.
You'll never look at a mango again. Response on that one. That one was just for you.
I did enjoy a mango this morning. I did. But you didn't need to know that.
Tinker. Tick, tick, tock. It's almost cake o'clock. With a ringing and a springing, the spin of the dial, we find a time to unwind. I delight in the delicacy of you and me. It's almost time. It's almost time for tea. Open up the secret cabinet to reveal the sweet treat. When you slice the cake with your sticky fingers and pour the tea, the steamy hot elixir that quenches. Listen to the tick, tick, tock of the hall clock. Come with me into the parlor. Sip, sip, sip. My heart is delighted, pulsing with the click and clock of the hall clock. My guide, we're talking about cake. My guide, it is time for tea, quenching my thirst for you. The pendulum swings. Come, come with me. We need to go into the garden. A sweet spring breeze. Touch the earth. Feel the dewy, soft buds, hopeful for the sun to pick them up. Dancing in the wind, feeling all is new, rhythm and swing and spin and swing, the pulse like my heart pounding into the ground. We are all fresh buds, peeking out of the earth so that we can blossom with the color of love. Crested one, vulva, wise laughter rising from the source of all, so very wet and full of gushing, such a distinction, pouring joy, juicy stories, belly heat, staring breast, watching, waiting softness of tongue, talking lips, moving fast, feeling pulse of stone. I am filled with hardness, yet so very soft, flowering crested one, I who love deeper, aching for flesh, I etch myself a path, I bring delicious laughter, ever ready in the hidden past. The redness touches, I, the great giver of life, the cavern to hide in, primitive talking, two-lipped one, accommodator. I am so deep with a gluttonous ache. I am the fire that burns, the snake you cannot remember. I am the beginning of your journey. Thank you so much.
What do you think? What's tea? Tea. I think we need some tea or cake or just talking or mangoes. I think we should have a mango. Have you got any mangoes for us, darling? Me? Yes. No mangoes. I don't know all of that. She has a ceiling, actually. All right, Caress is named Caress for a good reason. She's very caressable. I'm getting carried away.
It is my natural born given name.
Caress. It's soft like the breeze, and you have some beautiful songs that you're going to sing for us now.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool, let's just get into it. Before all the excitement, so I don't know. We'll try. I'm going to sing a couple of my tunes.
grasses. I'm afraid to sleep and I don't know why. I just cannot keep getting inside. Seeds of sadness are taking their toll. Rooted in grasses in the belly of my soul. Flame is burning low. Dark and shadows burning slow. Twist and sleep of my crooked spine. Sinking deep into my mind. My arms ache and my heart is sore. My guts are hungry for something more. Flame is burning low. Dark and shadows creeping slow. I sit in the sun and watch the clouds go by. I don't know when I lost the will to try. Voices whispering in the eerie tree, telling unsavory tales about me. Flame is burning low. Dark and shadow looking slow. I'm afraid to sleep and I don't know what. Not all of my music's that depressing, but everything I'm playing tonight
No spider dances, huh?
Yeah, we're not going. Yeah, our Freddie Mercury tonight. We'll be seeing you next time. Good enough. Yeah, I have one more for you. Hallelujah. Oh, sorry, I should have said two, I forgot, but we have there's a few people here that are in it. We have a show coming up at the end of May, and all of these we've been working on with the full band, which is really nice. So I don't know if they'll filled out, but there's something here in their church, May 27th. It's Nick's Been Lightning, and there's some audio and visual immersive weird studio stage production. So got soundscapes that are built up crazy different forests all over the world, and lots of cool stuff going on, as well as music, and projections, and dances and cozy costumes. So if you're around and you want to hear just more fleshed out, please do come. It will be weird, so.
That's right.
Yeah. Songs, the
petit comme ces deux se dire adieu avec ça entre les deux. Les étoiles sont allumées, ton destin entrelacé. Tu menacé de rêver, tu menacé de rêver. Et en bleu, dans mon âme, la lune est dans tes yeux.
So that's it for this first set. We have some really lively stuff coming up for the second set. We're gonna take a little break. I just want to bring Paula's down there now, but I want to give everybody a warm and then we have some very interesting things coming up in the next set. Misadventures and then David Embry and another surprise guest. But we've got about another half an hour or so, maybe. We should be out of here by about 9:40, I think. Oh, it's not too wow, we haven't been going out to concerts much, so it's a lot of entertainment. I know, we're all overwhelmed by just so much in one night. I am. What is that?
So how many minutes, Joanna?
Pardon me?
How many minutes?
10 minutes.
10 minutes for the, we'll have the lights on, and you can go take a look at the table back there and see if there's anything you'd like to purchase. There's cards, there's Paula's pins, there's CDs and books for sale.
Goody.
The world is almost and then I want to go I know. I was so excited.
Yes. Hi. Hello. Jennifer. Larissa. Very nice to meet you.
So glad. But I was looking and the popcorn. Somebody was like, well, let's keep our eyes something. Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
How have you been?
I'm doing all right.
You're going to be in the second set.
I'm in the second set. That's right.
I have a hard time. Okay, good. Well, I got one more bag. Little bag.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big round of applause for Paul and Gregor. Are we ready to get started on our second half of the show?
Yes, we are.
All right. The second half. I want to say the last half. The second half is the last half. Out of all the halves, this is the final half. Well, once again, ladies and gentlemen, can we please welcome back to the stage our host and the one who made this whole thing happen. We discussed this idea in the deep dark winter, and she actually made it happen. And we're so nice to see everybody here at the Weird Church, and thanks to CCAS, and of course, our host, ladies and gentlemen, Joe. And coming up first, as our first guest in the second half, from the show Sound is Medicine, Sacred Soundscapes and Esoteric Journeys, let's give a warm welcome to our first guest of the second half, Anand David Embry. Joined by Paula and Joanna. Right? Yes. Okay. Oh yeah, that's a secret. Anyways. Ta-da!
All right. I had time for a little bite. Mango sort of got me going. So, I'll tell you a little bit about, can I tell you a little bit about you?
Sure.
Okay, what I know about this man is, he's got a beautiful voice, and he has a way of singing and making music that just brings you to a beautiful place of calm. So, I think you studied classical music, is that correct?
Yes.
And you play how many instruments?
Well, my primary instrument is flute, but I sing and I play this harmonium. I also do drum work, that sort of thing. I also work with Tibetan bowls. They're not Tibetan bowls, they're Himalayan bowls now they're called, and various sound tools for what I call sound medicine, or people call sound medicine.
So you like to put on events that are to do with sound and healing and getting people really.
That's right. It's a kind of a form of meditation in a sense, where a person, when listening to music, goes inward and goes into places where they can release some of the things that have been holding them back. Maybe they recognize something that they haven't understood before, or whatever. And sound has the ability to take us inward and also relax. That's one of the big things. Allowing our nervous system to relax, and that's part of medicine.
So when you think about sacred music and music that is healing, how do these two things connect?
I sense the heart connection. When I'm playing, it's I kind of disappear. There's no, the audience disappears, and I go very, very deeply inward. And it's from that inward place that then the improvisational element comes forward. And I think that improvisational element is kind of a channeling, if you were, of the love we've all been talking about. Connecting to love. Well, improvisation for me is the direct connection to a force that just takes me over. And that I find informs my practice better, more than anything else.
Thank you for putting it that way, because I think that is what embodiment of art really does to all of us. I think whether it's visual,
It takes us over.
or yeah, it just takes you over. You lose yourself. You get into that flow, into that zone, and music that you're going to play for us tonight, that we're going to play, is, can you tell us a little bit about the first piece?
Well, the first piece I'm going to sing, In tus ojos de agua infinita. It's in Spanish, and it basically talks about about water and about light and our connection to both of those elements and to our heart. It talks about the healing of our heart. It talks about the connection to earth. And in this particular form, it talks about Pachamama. And I'm used to using this particular instrument, a harmonium, for the leading of chanting and getting folks into kind of a rhythmic pulse with one another. And I'm hoping that we can do that tonight. With the ending of this song, it has something that everybody can join into. Pachamama, Pachamama, Madre Tierra, Mother of all of the earth, Pachamama. So Pachamama is a word, South Latin American word that is the same as Gaia. It's really connecting to the spirit of the earth. And that's a large part of what this is, but it's also channeling the light at the same time. It talks about light as in the form of stars. Joanna and I have worked a little bit on this. So you'll find the place where you get to come in right in towards the end. In tus ojos de guanfinita se bañan las estrellitas, mama. In tus ojos de guanfinita se bañan las estrellitas, mama. And this is a drone instrument in the sense of Indian music providing a substance underneath the view to be able to play on top of. And at the same time, it allows me to stay connected with that deep impulse of music.
And this is a raga, yes?
It's based on a raga, the whole idea of a raga, which is really a melody that is allowed to be improvised on. It's very much like jazz in that sense. There we go.
as the chromosome ignites and hormones rise. The fertile egg-shaped moment in time where each one is created deep from the maiden mother crone. Maiden mother crone, you are a spark of light that comes from this spot deep within. She has eyes of breast and mouth of vulva. She who is the wise, two-lipped, talking, primitive one. She will come and take you on a journey to an ancient time, a time when all was revealed. With a deep belly laugh, ha ha ha! The women's talk, the bodiness, the things that shall not be said. The secret, dirty laugh, the women's talk, all our history erased. She who is the one who tells the tales has been forgotten, left in the dust. But we know, and you know, her story is true. Her story is funny, it's raw, it's painful, it's colorful. She is bright and beautiful. She, who has not been named for centuries, will stand here and tell her story, your story, as we give sex that is the serum that unites all of our souls. Sex is the serum that unites ourselves. Let your magic be seen. Let your light shine and flash your light for all to see. I want to eat a peach now. I think we're ready for lots of more. Just grab my button.
So there we have it. Send a big round of applause for Nan, David, and Reed.
Shall I explain this a little bit? So, does anyone know the story of Demeter and Persephone? And how she goes into the underworld? Yeah. Persephone is Demeter's daughter. Demeter is the goddess of the earth. And when her daughter goes into the underworld, she is so sad that the earth dies. Everything wilts and passes because Demeter is sad. So Baubo, who is a clown crone goddess who I embody often, comes and she tells her some naughty jokes and flashes her vulva and makes Demeter laugh. And Demeter brings joy back to the earth, and the earth comes to life. So, yes, this is that book.
So who's next, Joanne?
That was a little bit of fun, wasn't it? We have a very, very, very special guest right now, another very, very special guest. And he is somebody that you all know very well. He's sometimes known as an artist, and sometimes a teacher, and sometimes it's actually Kevin. Kevin Flesher is one of our most esteemed members of the community. He does an awful lot. He used to be the poet laureate for the Comox Valley, and he's very quick on his feet. He dances. He does worm. I went to a party where we got to do worms at the party, which was just my alley. And he's kind of a funny guy, and sings really beautifully too. So would you like to sing for us, Kevin?
Yeah, I just would like to do one song for y'all. I'd like to dedicate this song to my new friend Bob out there, who just rode his bike up from the 9 hours.
Wow. Is there anything else I need to say about you?
No, that's good. I want to sing this song, but I just want to hear everybody sing as a part of the song. Okay, right? Just want to do one tune for you. I really like this song. So maybe you could help me out. If you could just say, when I say that's life, could you go, that's life? Yep. Sure you can do that? All right, not yet. But when it's time, ready? Well, that's life. That's life. That's what all the people say. Riding high in April, shot down in May. I know I'm gonna change that tune. And I'm back on top in June. I said that's life. That's life. And as funny as it may seem, some people get their kicks stomping on a dream. Come on, I don't let it get me down. No. 'Cause it's final, keep spinning around. I've been a pirate, a pauper, a poet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down, over and out, and I know one thing each time I find myself flat on my face. I just pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life. That's back in the night. I thought I quit, but my heart wouldn't buy it. If I didn't think it was worth one single try, I'd hop on a big bird and I'd fly. 'Cause I've been a pirate, a poet, a pauper, a puppet, a pawn and a king. I've been up and down, over and out. I know one thing each time I find myself flat on my face, or just to pick myself up and get back in the race. That's life. That's life. Hey, I can't deny it. I thought of quitting, but my heart wouldn't buy it. But if there's nothing shaking, come here this July. I'm gonna roll myself up in a big ball and die. My. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here tonight, everybody. And I'd like to invite our last guests up, our final and most wonderful guests. Well, I don't know if they're most wonderful, but the most wonderful last guests are coming up from the episode Ms. Adventures. Let's give it up for, why am I trying to blank here all of a sudden? Judy Norbury and Hazel Lennox, which is, I can visualize it, I was just trying to say it. Hazel Lennox and Judy Norbury as a part of the Ms. Adventures show. Over to you, Joanna. Hazel and Judy.
Hazel, Judy.
Yes, we're here. Those are way to stay.
So we're actually, normally there's 4 of us, but our pal Linda Safford, actually broke something in her hip and had surgery. So she sadly will not be doing her part here tonight. Yes, I will. We'll move to the middle.
So, you got your clavies? Or you don't need them for this one?
We don't need them for this one.
Okay. So we have been performing for like, I don't know, 30 years almost.
Yep.
Started in 19 what year?
Long time.
Long time.
19 long time.
19 so before we get started, I just have a little, I'm going to be the host here, and that's like, Hazel, it was your beginning. You started the Misadventures. Can you tell me a little bit about that experience?
Well, I was invited by my friend to an event on International Women's Day, and it was a speaker, Anne Cameron actually, and it was so horribly depressing about women, how we've been abused by men for centuries, and it was true, but when I left, I did not feel uplifted and like empowered as a woman. And I thought, sod this. Next year there has to be something more joyful and cheery, and I put an advert in the paper. Well, I think I approached Judy and Linda.
Yeah.
I didn't know people. I'd only been living here a year or something, maybe a couple of years. Anyway, put an advert in the paper, blah, blah, blah. Anybody interested in, and all these, there was, I don't know,
About 16 of them, I think.
yeah, 18
Easily,
maybe
yeah.
people. And it was a nightmare because people were there for all sorts of reasons. Some thought it was a therapy group. And, anyway. And
they left because it wasn't a therapy.
rehearsals, trying to schedule rehearsals for all that number of people. Anyway, time went on, and some people left, and other people just faded away. And we ended up as a 5-some for a long time. And then we went to a 4-some, and my God, now we're a 3-some.
Yeah, but we're still a 4-some actually.
But Linda will return.
Yes.
Yeah. So we've played, let's name some place we play.
Let's not talk too long about it.
Let's just.
I know, I can still.
She wants to sing, damn it.
We've been waiting a long time.
All right, okay, well, we have
We toured the island.
Played, we toured all the islands. Okay, I guess I'm not gonna host for this, because these are a bunch of mouthy bitches. Fabulous misadventures. No history here, you'll find out all about it in the songs. So we're uppity bitches. Ruth Masters was a good friend of ours. We were really inspired by her radical ways of being. So this is one of the songs we used to start our shows off with quite a bit. Is a father better than a mother? Is a sister better than a brother? One's concave, one's convex. Does that make one sex better than the other? Ajax shoulders, move boulders. Helen's hips, long ships. Opposites favor their opposite nature. And there you are, fish and chips. The world needs us, so the world breeds us. From the ant to the elephant to the little rhesus monkey. Every creature, from the anteater to the mooses, has their uses. A dog don't sing, a bird don't bark. So which is the best thing, poodle or a lark? It's ridiculous, comparing one who's prickless to one who's hairy. Is black better than white, day better than night? Without either, there'd be neither. Some women try to be she-mens. Let's say that he-mens are worse than demons. Nature gives us a logical sequel. We're different. Oh no.
Nature gives us
Lots of chances and get 'em. Shouldn't have to wear pantses. We're not like moles. Those are rabbits. We should control our social habits and things that turn us against each other. And don't learn us to be sister and brother. If her and him are indispensable, treat them similar is only sensible. Reason gives us the logical sequel. We're different, therefore equal. This one we're going to do now is the one that Linda wrote and was going to, by the way, the last song was written by Peggy Seeger, who was, what's his name? What's his name? Sister. Pete
Peter
Seeger's
Seeger.
sister.
She was married
Yeah.
to what's his face then?
Anyway.
Yeah, you know, activists all.
So this is Linda's Earth song that we're doing instead of her tonight. This earth is ours, we share it with every creature who breathes. We share it with each other. This is our home, we are all neighbors and friends here together, braving the weather and laughing. We need to open our eyes. We need to speak up the truth. We need to work at the jobs to be done, to live in peace together, or else to perish soon. We are at home, we have no other place where we can be. Why won't we see it's dying? Oh, living spirit, earth our own mother, cries out with the pain. Living insanely has brought us. We need the trees and the sun. We need the waters and lands. We need the farmers, the workers, the people who know the joy of life and work to preserve it. Show us some people, hard-working leaders to toil by our sides, who move with the tides of destiny. Help us to guide them with wisdom. Show them our needs and our strengths, setting our goals, planning the future together with vision and caring. This earth is ours, we share it with every creature who breathes. We share it with each other.
So this next song is a dire warning.
So, We used to perform at political rallies, and first time we wrote this song was for a free trade agreement, which is a long. One, two, one. Bum, 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 to deal with the boys, and what do you get? Country at ransom and national debt. Call it free trade, but we're all sure our souls being sold to the company store. Now the company store, we can all agree, is multinational and slippery. No rules apply when the stakes are high. They're giving it away right before our eyes. They say it's good for you and it's good for me, because it brings prosperity. We all want more from the company store. Nuts to democracy, it's our fault. Deal with the boys, and what do you get? People on the street, no safety net. Call it their fault, but we're all sure our souls being sold to the company store. Corporate elite sure smells sweet when you itch to be above the street, above the rest in the corporate nest. World Bank deals suit the fat cat's best. Now it's up to me and it's up to you to stop these deals from going through. There's more at stake than jobs or cash, so let's throw the government out on its ass. So when you deal with the boys, and what do you get? People on the street, no safety net. Call it their fault, but we're all sure our souls being sold to the company store. All right. Pills, 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 pills. There's nothing like a pill, nothing in the world. There is nothing fits the bill like a clinically tested pill.
We got Seconal and Sonorol and Panadol for you, paracetamol and Panadol and Anadol will do. We've got pills to get you off to sleep and more to pull you through. We've got the best, the pill for you. There's nothing like a pill, nothing in the world. There's nothing fits the bill like a clinically tested pill.
We've got pills for every ailment and pills for every pain. Pills to flush your arteries and neutralize your brain. Contraception or fertility, to us it's all the same.
We've got the pill, we know the game.
There's nothing like a pill, nothing in the world. There is nothing fits your bill like a clinically tested uppers, we've got downers, we've got pills to make you spin, we've got pills to make you fatter, we've got pills to make you thin. We've got such a grand assortment, we don't know where to begin.
What ain't we got? We ain't got morals. Your body needs a tonic. Here's the thing that's really gonna perk you up and make you feel supersonic.
And if you take all our pills,
Take them for your pills. Hear the ringing of our pills.
we get very rich from our pills.
We got red ones, we got blue ones, we got orange, we got green.
We've got big ones, we've got small ones, we've got lots of in between.
For your pancreas and liver, for your abdomen and spleen.
We've got the pill, we know the seed.
There's nothing like a pill, nothing in the world.
There's nothing fits the bill like a clinically tested pill. Nothing acts like a pill.
Or reacts like a pill.
Not much tax on a pill.
See the quacks for your pill.
There ain't a thing that's wrong with anyone here
that couldn't be cured by putting them near a patent remedy clinically tested Well, this song's a little bit, well, they're all a little bit dated, but they're also very relevant in some new kind of way. Down on 42nd Street, where the elite all choose to meet to greet, you can see them everywhere, because every kind of man will be there. There are men who love women who love men. There are women who love women every now and then. There are men who love men because they can't pretend. They are men who love women who love men.
There are those who will love you for pay. There are those who will love you either way, and at the bar with a bottle of scotch.
There are those who would rather just watch those men who love women who love men. There are women who love women every now and then. There are men who love men because they can't pretend. There are men who love women who love men. There are those who make love to machines, but they don't talk back and they're easy to clean. There are those who tell you out loud they can only make love in a crowd of men who love women who love men. There are women who love women every now and then. There are men who love men because they can't pretend. They are men who love women who love men. In the pursuit of true love joy, boys will be girls and girls will be boys. But it's so hard to know what to do when you don't know who it is you're talking to. There are men who love women who love men. There are women who love women every now and then. There are men who love men because they can't pretend. There are men who love women who love men who love women who love men who love women who love men. Cha cha cha.
I think that's thanks to Steve Goodman.
Okay.
Is that his name?
Blame it on Steve
Yeah,
Goodman.
I think that's, leave that one on him. Well, I think that's
That's it for
it.
that's it for the misadventures.
So let's hear it for Let's get all our performers up here and take a bow and do our finale here. All our performers, because we gotta do a bow here. Final song.
song that I wrote just for this wonderful occasion.
Somebody coming all the way up to your entire valley. Well, thank you all so much for being here. Round of applause for our audience. Stories